What's up, fam? It's your boy. We got a video today. It's a very important topic I want to talk about. We're not touching on, hip hop, rap stuff in this video. We're going to talk about policing, the policing in my city, and the gang mentality of the police. I'm from Syracuse, New York. I'm going to say that because, you know, I'm real as fuck. Our police department in the past has been they're not accountable. They act on their own will. I think a lot of it is a supremacist attitude from a lot of these cops, even the black ones. And I'm not trying to be racist here, but the cops got this mentality that their blue is, I don't know, but remember, blue is a gang color. Remember that. I'm gonna start this commentary off. I wrote, because this is something important I want to talk about, and I don't want to miss nothing. So, bear with me. The Syracuse Police Department's long-standing policy on the use of physical force offers just two sentences describing when officers should use force and how much force they should use. After years and years of complaints from police watchdogs, our department has updated these policies. The first initiative being the employment of a new chief, Chief Kenton Buckner. Chief Kenton Buckner announced some changes to our policy Friday morning, and he's going to be discussing it in a press conference later this afternoon. I don't watch the news and the media, so a lot of the things I get is from, like the newspaper, Syracuse.com. So I probably won't be watching his press conference. I don't watch television. Y'all know why. So, for years, in my personal experience, I've watched many friends get murdered by the police just for small violations or misdemeanor offenses. The dialogue I always hear used by these police: stop resisting, when resistance is not even happening. Or two orders at once: let me see your hands and shut off the vehicle. This is a dangerous fucking order from a police officer. Think about it. He wants to see your hands. Don't move your fucking hands. Shut off the vehicle. What do you think is going to happen? Only two things that's going to happen. There's only two things that's going to happen. One, you're not going to move your fucking hands, and you're going to walk away with your life. You might end up in jail that day, but you're going to walk away with your fucking life. Don't move your fucking hands. You're going to listen to him? You're going to shut the car off? You're going to move one of them hands? You're probably going to get his clip emptied into your fucking face. I'm not even going to say probably, because that's what happens most of the fucking time. Yeah, take the failure to comply. Don't move your fucking hands. Take a failure to comply. Go do a night in the pub. Come out with a court date. Pay a little bullshit fine. And you have your life. In my opinion, that's gang activity, not policing. In my opinion, a lot of the people that they fucking murder, think about it. You look at their criminal backgrounds. They got a criminal background. They might not have been doing anything to get murdered this day. That cop had a fucking grudge or a hard-on for that person. Just waited for him to make a mistake. It's bad. back to the topic. The old policy focuses almost exclusively on how to document and report use of force after the fact. It only briefly describes what type of force should be used. Nowhere in the policy does it state when force is prohibited. There's nothing that says when you can't use force or when you shouldn't use force. Nothing. There's nothing. There's 3 lines. This old policy has 3 lines. Well, it's 2 sentences, but it's 3 lines. Okay? Nowhere in the policy does it state when use of force is prohibited. More fucking gang activity, in my opinion. Because it just lets... This is what it does. Don't highlight rules so evil officers can still use their own discretion. So if they feel the need to use force, they will do so how they wish. And if someone gets killed, here's the dialogue. He was resisting. Failure to comply. Thought he had a gun. Was in fear for my life. That dialogue justifies murdering someone, in my opinion. Now, what I'm about to say, you're going to see where the previous statement of discretion comes from. New policy outlines specific regulations for when, and most importantly, when not to use force. Some of the details. Officers cannot employ a chokehold or naked chokehold unless there is immediate threat of serious harm or death. I.e., guy has a gun, trying to use his vehicle as a weapon, fighting with an officer, should not provoke this submission technique, which police have used in the past and actually killed folks with. I don't know if y'all heard the story. The man in New York City a few years ago, he was selling Lucy's. He was selling Lucy's because, all right, so the man don't have a job, and he has a family, still trying to feed his kids. So he sells loose cigarettes for change. I mean, yeah, it's illegal because you're not paying taxes on it. But when the man refused to give his hands, because the officer kept saying, "Give me your hands, give me your hands," he's like, "Dude, I'm not giving you my hands. I'm not doing anything wrong." And he took a drag off his cigarette, and then the officer jumped on him, fucking got him in a rear naked choke, would not let homeboy go. You heard homeboy say 4 or 5 different times, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." The officer didn't let him go until the man was dead. Bro, you jumped on the man with intentions to kill him. And you killed him. Force cannot be used on a person who is handcuffed or otherwise restrained unless it's necessary to prevent injury. Loophole! Because you know damn well they gonna fuck a motherfucker up, whether he's in handcuffs, in a restraint chair, with a gag mask. They gonna fuck you up regardless. And they gonna be like, "I was afraid for my life. He kicked at my shin. So I beat the fucking shit out of him." Yeah. So that's a loophole right there. I mean, I like how they're doing this with the new policies and stuff, but they're leaving loopholes. They're leaving a gap where the officer can insert they leave that gap so the officer can just insert his version of what happened, his story. Loophole. I was in fear for my life. He was hurting me. You motherfuckers are a gang. Like, you roll up on somebody with like 4 or 5 officers, just one person in the car. You can't be in fear for your life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That person that's in that car hasn't went through extensive police training as the 4 of you did. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way you could possibly be in fear for your life when you roll up on a car with one person in it and there's 4 of you. Gang activity. Gang activity. Can't stress that enough. Force should never be used to torture or punish someone. Officers are now legally obligated to intervene when they see another officer using excessive force. Buddies, will there be punishment if found that an officer did not intervene, I guess we gotta wait for a situation to happen to fucking see for ourselves. It's like another fucking loophole, pretty much. Officers should seek to de-escalate a situation, if possible, before using force. Officers cannot conduct a cavity search without a warrant, which they do every day. Illegal cavity searches. Like I watched last summer where I was living, a woman was walking down my street drunk. 2 cops show up. Well, they beat the shit out of the lady. And then the man conducted a cavity search, which prompted me and another friend to call the police to come for the police because the woman, she couldn't really stand up by herself, and they were manhandling. It was a man and a woman cop. They manhandled her, slammed her into garbage cans on the ground. They did a lot to this lady, and then the officer decided out in the open, he conducted a cavity search. Well, we got officers out there, and those officers were removed from the scene after they already did the foul shit, though. You know what I mean? So, but this is what happens. So, officers are not permitted to fire warning shots. There's no loophole in this, motherfucker. If you discharge your weapon for no reason, something gonna happen to you. Your boss you're gonna get fucking, something gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So, you like your job and shit, don't do fuckboy shit. Stop acting like you a fucking gang. This part gets me, man. Officers can use deadly force against an animal if the animal is a threat or badly injured or is diseased or is preventing an officer from accomplishing a lawful objective. They can still kill our fucking dogs with this shit fucking loophole because an officer is just going to say any one of these things. Oh, the animal was a threat. It was barking. Or I thought the animal was diseased because lots of homeowners and lots of people own diseased animals. Or is preventing an officer from accomplishing a lawful objective. Listen, man. A fucking animal is not going to stop you from accomplishing your objective. Now, if it's a big-ass fucking dog like a Rottweiler or a Pit Bull, and that motherfucker got its teeth fucking shining, and he's coming for your throat, man, kill that motherfucker because he's finna kill you. But you cannot just kill our animals. You can't just come in our yard and be like, oh, he got in my way of fucking talking to this dude, so I killed it. No, man, no. This is a shit fucking loophole. I like some of the things that they're doing, but they leave in these loopholes for a reason. You know they're doing it for a reason. They leave in the loopholes so that the officers can still get away with shit a little bit. The most important part of this new policy, it addresses at least one scenario that came up in a recent case. It prohibits officers from firing on a moving vehicle unless the officer thinks the driver is about to use deadly force against someone. In May, a former Syracuse police officer fired 5 shots at a fleeing van containing 3 children. Thank our Lord that none of those children were hurt. This man no longer has a job. This new policy reflects modern policing guidelines for determining when to use force. It lists 24 factors to consider to determine if reasonable use of force. The old policy only listed 3 and cited a Supreme Court case, Graham v. O'Connor, and lists these 3 things to consider when determining if force will be used. The severity of the crime at hand. Whether suspect is a safety threat to officers or others. Whether suspect is resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest. so fucking vague. That policy is so fucking vague, and that's why shit like this fucking happens, because there's no real guidelines on what the police can do. So this new chief, Kenton Buckner, he's got the right idea and stuff, but I feel like he's law enforcement and he's leaving these loopholes on purpose. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I'm not trying to be funny or anything in this video. This is serious. This is a topic that's very important to me. What brought about these changes is a traffic stop that happened last week where a man, Shaolin Moore, was playing his music too loudly. He was dragged out of his vehicle, punched several times in the head, and was being manhandled by white and black officers. All the while, a passenger in Moore's vehicle recorded the unlawful incident. The video, and I don't know the link to this video, but it's terrible. There isn't really much more to talk about on this. I've talked about the changes in the guidelines and when they can use force and when they can't, and how I feel like they'll probably still use it, probably just as much. I hope that this changes it. I really do. But there's a lot of loopholes there that really still gives officers a free pass to like pretty much make up shit, do what they want. And there's not much really we can do about this. I've seen somebody talking about maybe we should start a group of militia to protect people from the police. Now, while that's a good fucking idea and everything, it really only makes the problem worse. Because while the police will know that they have a group of people that are actively trying to undermine them, shit will get worse. A lot worse. I just hope this new policy will hold officers accountable for their actions, and we stop seeing our friends be murdered by the folks who supposed to be protecting us. That's really all I got to say. I hope this didn't get too long for y'all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video, as this subject is very, very important to me. Punch my like button in the goddamn face. Punch that motherfucking like button out. Punch it out. Grab a sub. Because we got a lot of shit to talk about. And we're going to be uploading some dope-ass content real soon. Much love, fam. You some real ones. Peace.